Welcome to Students Incorporated, a podcast exploring the topics of business, education, technology, and design. I'm your host, Mr. Jason. Join me weekly as my team and I produce content that's informative, positive, fun, and uplifting. Episodes include student conversations, interviews with thought leaders, and inspirational stories with an international flavor. This podcast is created and produced with the help of students from the International Community School of Bangkok. In today's episode, we have the privilege of talking with another local business owner about her journey in business, her love for animals, and how we can take better care of the creatures around us. Pet Club is the brand name of her business, which has multiple locations throughout the Bangkok metropolitan area. If you're a pet owner, or if you just love animals, this episode is for you. But before we get into our first segment, let's hear our quote of the day and get some headline animal news.
Our quote of the day comes from James Cornwell. He's quoted to have said, "Pets are humanizing. They remind us we have an obligation and responsibility to preserve, nurture, and care for all life. Pets are more than just companions. They can have a profound impact on our lives. They remind us of our responsibility and duty to preserve and care for life. They teach us compassion, empathy, and patience. They also teach us the importance of caring for something other than ourselves, and they can help build character in us." Now onto some animal news.
Here's the latest news in the world of animals. We start with some practical zoo news from South Asia. A new bill was passed in Bangladesh that specifically helps protect both the zoo animals and the visitors. All zoo animals are to be kept in a humane and safe environment that protects both the animals and visitors from each other. Visitors who break the rules and injure or hurt any of the zoo animals can be charged in court. Now, here's a happy elephant story from Thailand. Gloihom, a young elephant that was rescued in 2019 by the Save Elephant Foundation, is now regaining his lost years. Gloihom has spent time at a crocodile farm and was essentially treated like a circus animal to the delight of tourists. He was consistently treated abusively by his trainers. He has been relocated to the Elephant Nature Park, where he now enjoys socializing with other elephants as he regains his health and strength. And to finish off our new segment, here's a rather intriguing story about a hungry bear from the U.S. state of Colorado. A bear raided a luxury resort in Aspen looking for food. The bear entered the kitchen of St. Regis Aspen Resort around 11 p.m. A surprise security guard who entered the kitchen was knocked down by the bear. After getting away from the hungry bear, the guard quickly called 911 to report the incident. The bear eventually left the kitchen after his midnight snack. Officials from Colorado Parks and Wildlife have notified communities that bears are more active in search for food this time of the year, as they are getting ready to hibernate for the winter. And that ends our headline animal news.
Thank you for the quote and headline news. Now let's get into our first segment. I'm joined by co-hosts Premi and Rebecca, and we welcome Mrs. Pook, co-founder of Pet Club. Premi will get us started with our first question.
Thank you for joining our show today. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Hi, my name is Somriti, or you can just call me Pook, okay? I'm a co-founder of Pet Club. What we do is we are a pet care retailer. Right now, currently we do offerings for the cover 5 businesses. First is the pet store. We're selling from pet food to like supplies, all things you can imagine about pets. Second is grooming services. We do bath and groom for both cats and dogs, okay? The third one is veterinary services. We do have our own vet, okay? We do mostly like preventive care, okay, to take care of the pet at the early stage, like vaccination and things like that. The next one is pet hotel. We do have both dogs hotel and cats hotel. And lastly is the pet pool, which is the pool for dog to go exercise. Right. Right now, Pet Club have about 30 offline stores, including online channels in marketplace like Lazada, Shopee, and our own website.
Thank you so much. Our next question is lighthearted. Did you have a favorite pet or animal growing up?
Yes, of course. I'm a dog person. Yeah, I'm a dog person, and we always have dogs at home since I was a little kid.
Okay, here's another fun question. If you had to choose an animal that best represents your personality, what would you choose and why?
Of course, it's a dog.
Yeah. Dog.
Dog, yeah.
Should have seen it.
Yeah, because dog is, to me, it represents trustworthy, curious.
Right.
Okay. Dog could be very aggressive, as yet, if he get acquainted in the family, it could be tame and playful. But when it comes to fighting, it could be very aggressive for strangers. So basically, I think dogs are very sincere.
Yeah, and that's just like trustworthy and like loyal.
Yeah.
And moving on to some questions about your journey and your business. Can you share about your educational background and then what influenced your decision to pursue a career in business and specifically in the pet care industry?
I went to Chulalongkorn University as an undergrad. I went to business school, majoring in statistics. Okay, and then I went to the U.S. for my master's degree from UNC Chapel Hill. Okay, and then throughout my career, I've been working with all international company until when I come back to Thailand and I help my parents' business. And here's my second Thai business that I start off with. So who actually inspired me to pursue in the business career, I would say, is my dad. Yeah, since I was a little kid, I see his up and down, and he's the hard worker, and he's such a real entrepreneur. And I think that's, grew in me.
Now hearing more about like your business background, we'd love to hear about your first job or internship, sorry. And what was that like? And how did it shape your decision to start your own business?
I'm quite fortunate that when I was in the last year in July, I went to have internship with a company. I think it's a big manufacturing company. Mm-hmm. They have one section about market research. And since I'm measuring in statistics, so what our internships is about finding the right product for them. So what I do is I have a list of potential customer, and we go interview them. Yeah. So it's like market research, okay? So what I learned about that is that I'm very excited to know things that I never learned in the school. When you get to interview, people talk to the customers, just how you get insight.
Right.
So when I graduate, that's why I land my first job with Procter & Gamble in Thailand, and I land in market research department. That even made it more fun because I have a chance to be part of the team to do the launch of the new product of P&G, like Pampers in that day. It's very fun, and lots of things that I learned.
I think we learned about that too in a marketing class.
It's the fundamental. Knowing customer is the fundamental of all business.
We talk about that a lot too, and like building like loyal customer base and trust, fostering.
Yes, and you get to know them.
And building onto that, starting a business is not easy. So what did the beginning of your business pet club look like? What kind of challenges did you face?
Oh, it's a long story, but it's a good question. Yeah, back then, since I been working in a big corporate for such a long time, and when we start our new journey, when you start counting one, I think it's the most difficult thing. First is you have to give up your passive income, your salary and things like that, and you have to burn your savings on your business. So there are lots of guts that you need to have, okay? And as I always tell my family and my niece and my daughter and son, you need to have perseverance, There will be so many fails, so many issues. You eat it and you get to the next level. So to be frank with you guys, it's not easy like you study in the class or in the textbook, but you get to learn it and you get to know how to get up and get going. I think that's the most important thing that I learned. It's different from when you work for corporate or like when you do in the, high school or in your university. You sit in the sandbox, It's okay to fail, but you have to know when to get up fast and get going. It's part of the journey.
Yeah, wow, that's really insightful. And I think those are like good comparisons and like good metaphors, like burning your savings or like the sandbox, right? You can get up like in a more protective shelter kind of environment. You're allowed to experiment and try and fail. But then you're onto the real world. And then when you fail, you need to get up fast. And I think the point that you brought up about perseverance is definitely very important. No, wow. And especially with how far Pet Club has come now. When looking back on the business journey, were there some key moments early on that helped the business grow?
Oh, Actually, back when we first started, even though I did a lot of research,
Right.
I have business concept. Like when we all started, it's very difficult for us to land the first store. We drive all the way. I mean, we call many, potential landlords, big shopping malls. They're all like, no, we're not ready. Back then, 10 years ago, pet industry is not this, and they can't imagine how would I have this kind of store,
Right.
nice shopping mall. So we end up opening the first branch in the Hong Tao shop house, by the roadside, because we can't get into the shopping malls or variety malls. So when you ask me about the turning point, I would say when we start doing that for, I think, 3 to 5 years, then the business get growing. We have lots of word of mouth and how great our store is. We got a call. We start getting a call from landlord and the shopping mall to ask if we have any interest to go and open in the shopping mall. I would consider it as a very important turning point for us.
Yeah.
That means in terms of the market response, they accept us. They like Pet Club.
Right.
And that is the time when we start expanding.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Those key moments definitely must have been play an important role in Pet Club. And onto the subject of success, what does success look like to you, and what things did you learn along the way?
Yeah, I really like this question, and I put a lot of thoughts in this question too. To me, success is achieving your goals and targets. And to me, as times go by, I find it's very effective and works if you set the big goals and targets, and you also set the small part along the way. But you set the big picture first, and then you set a smaller targets so that you can achieve, And to me, success is when you feel proud, you feel like, yes, I can do it. You feel confident. But as times goes by, I think what important to me, rather than being successful, is the journey throughout to get to the success. I think that is more memorable, and I think the journey through the success that make you become the better version of you, make you become stronger, make you sharpen you. So what I'm trying to share with you guys is not just focusing on the goal, but you also have to enjoy the journey. That is what you learn the most.
I think that's always a good reminder to have, because a lot of the times, many people might be so focused on the goal that they forget why they're trying to get there, or the journey they're trying to get there, or why they're trying to achieve their goal in the first place. So that's a definitely very powerful reminder. And now, closing in on our final question for this first segment is, what kind of advice would you give to specifically high school students who are interested in studying business?
Exploring, if you get a chance, explore yourself, get to know what you like and what you don't like, what you dislike. And if you find things that you don't like, ask yourself if you can put up with it, if you have to work with it day in and day out. I think that would be my take for you. Because back when I was in high school, I don't have this kind of class, I don't have a chance to explore or talk with people who are in the real segment. But you guys have, I think this is amazing.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you for such good advice. That ends our first segment, but we'll be right back after this short announcement.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, get your tickets for Susical. Seats are almost filled up. Please come and support our amazing actors and actresses November 22nd and 23rd. We'd love to see you guys there. Moving on to some local Thai events. Loikur Town Festival 2023 is one of the Thailand's most popular and visually stunning annual festivals. This is Thailand's very own Festival of Lights. Loikur Town is celebrated during the full moon of the 12th month of the Thai lunar calendar. This year, the festival is on Monday, November 27th.
We are back with our second segment. In this segment, we'll be focusing more on the topic of pet care and responsible animal ownership. We also want to discuss industry trends and get some advice about how better to love and pamper our furry friends. Remy will get us started again with our question.
This question is about the pet care industry itself. What are some of the unique features that make the pet care industry different from more traditional businesses?
Chewy, I like the cute aspect of this industry. I don't know how to say in English, but in Thai, I find it's moving, dazzling, like in our office, we are pet-friendly office. Sometimes we do have dogs and cats in our meeting room, And when you work, of course, you can't avoid, stress and things like that. But when you come out and you see you see pets, you see dogs and cats, you play around with them for, a few minutes and you get better. This is the charm of it. I mean, it's very, very charming. Yeah, that's what I like about pet. It's a happy business.
Yeah, it's really adorable.
I agree. Those aspects definitely will make pet care as an industry stand out. Our next question is about challenges. What are some challenges your business faces within this industry, knowing that you are helping pet owners take care of their pets, which many people see as another member of their family?
So I think this is a very good question too, because what we dealing with is their loving ones, like a family member. So I think dealing with care is very important, and so together with managing their expectation, because of course they love our pets, their pets, and we also care for their pets. But again, when you work with living things, sometimes there might be some unexpected incidents, like when we do grooming. If for dogs and cats, sometimes they stress out, or maybe there's some incident, some loud noise that, let's say, if my groomer still, cutting their nails, and then if all of a sudden the dogs feel stressed or whatever, some environment that arouse their excitement, they might jump or those kind of things. So some small accident might happen. But what we do is we try to inform the customer, the pet owner, if that is happen. What we're trying to do is to be open and tell them straightforward what happened. But of course, we do it with tremendous care. But again, how could we manage the expectation and understanding is very important, because it's not a doll, it's a dog, it's a cat, particularly for cats, Like last time, for example, the cats might be very timid and very easy to handle. But this time, she might be angry, she might be stressful, we don't know. So the time that we do the service or the grooming might be different. So sometimes customers don't understand. How come this time you take like longer time, but last time it's shorter time, things like that. I think it's more of managing expectation, because we do in the service business, and there's so many variables that might occur that there might be some incidents. So what we're trying to do is inform the customer, educate our staff, and then make it all open. I mean, straightforward communication. I think that's very important in our business. Yeah.
That is definitely like a big challenge, because the pet care industry, the things that we're dealing with is not like an inanimate object that can be bought or sold. It's a living thing.
It's a living thing, So it's just like human.
Yeah.
They have good day and they have bad day.
Yeah.
So if you understand that, we have to we do love them, but I think it does have to come with understanding of that nature too.
For sure. And now that you've shared some challenges, what are some ways your company takes on those challenges? And are there specific things that your company does that are unique and different from others?
I think I wouldn't say we have one particular challenges in this industry. Given the fact that we do 5 offerings, not just selling things, but we do also offering services. So I think that is very challenging. Again, back to what I just you touched about, managing customer expectation and understanding. I think this is the most important things. And caring is what we try to focus in our, in the pet club. Make sure that all the staffs have the true understanding and caring for pets, so that we can create trust for the pet owners who come to pet club. I think this is very important.
Can you explain what this industry may look like in 5 or 10 years? And what are some of the trends you're noticing?
Of course, I still foresee this market will continue to grow, given the fact that now today people have a smaller family size, micro family, and pets becomes, the friends or the family member. So I foresee this market will continue to grow, and definitely when the market grows, you will have more newcomers to come in this market, because the market has opportunity. To me, this means it's not a bad thing. I think this is great, when you do business, and if you look around yourself and it's only you who competing or in that industry, you should ask yourself, why are you there? Okay. So to me, when the market is growing, when the newcomer coming in, I think this ensure me that we're in the right business. But it's how, it's more of the question of how could we make our service and offering better to continue to have a good position in the business, in the industry. Is more of that question to me. Yeah.
So more interaction, more growth.
Yes. I foresee the potential growth. As yet, it's more of the pressure and it's a drive for us to continue to do better, so that we can continue to be in the leading position, to secure a market leading position in the industry. I think this is my point.
Yeah, I see that, and that's really insightful. Thank you so much for sharing. And now on to more specifically about pet owners. What are some specific things pet owners can do to help contribute to the overall health of their pets and the environment in which they live?
I think having a pet is not just having a dog.
Yeah.
Again, back to that point. It's a living things. So it's like your baby. It's come with responsibility. I think pet owner, to a certain point, you have to develop to be the pet parent.
Right. Yeah.
How you train your dogs, when particularly right now, all the many places become more pet friendly. You can bring pets to restaurant, to shopping mall. Like in Europe or in the US, pets can go anywhere, in subway or on the bus, But in Thai, I think we're just starting, Of course, there are people who like pets and people who don't like pets.
Yeah.
I think it's the overall responsibility for us as a pet owners to make sure that our pets won't disturb others who don't like, because we're living in the same society.
Yeah.
I think that will promote the pet-friendly environment in Thailand. To me, is how you turn yourself to be just the owner, to be a pet parent. I think this is very important and it's crucial.
Thank you. And those are some very practical things. For our final question, we'd like to ask our guest for advice. This is about business. So what practical advice would you give young entrepreneurs who dream about starting their new business?
I think having a dream is very important, okay? But dreams will just become a dream without actions. So once you have the dreams, you explore your dreams, don't be scared. Just try it out. The earlier on you can have a chance to start, I think it's the better off. And just do it. And when you face issue or problems or obstacles, just always tell yourself it's an ingredient of success, okay? I would like to share a quote that I find very, very good about having perseverance, which I always say is good for all the entrepreneurs. is from Winston Churchill. Okay. As my closing, okay. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. I think this is good for all the entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow, that's really powerful. Thank you so much again for being on our show as our guest.
Oh, very pleasure. I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with those final words of wisdom and advice about animal care, we have run out of time. Thank you again, Mrs. Pook, for telling us your personal journey into business and giving us insight into the world of pet care. I'm only sad we couldn't have a furry friend with us here in the studio today. And now, shifting gears to something we promised in our last episode, our raffle drawing winners. We received a number of audience-submitted questions for our previous episode, and each participant was entered into a raffle drawing. We have 7 prizes to give away. So, without further ado, the Students Incorporated team drew the 7 winning names, and they are AOE, Miles, Julian, Karis, Jonah, Kylie, and Ken. Again, the winners are AOE, Miles, Julian, Karis, Jonah, Kylie, and Ken. Now, if you heard your name, you have 2 weeks to claim your prize. Please come see me, Mr. Jason, at room 201A, and I will give you a few more instructions. Thank you and congratulations again to those 7 prize winners. As we end this episode, I'm reminded that we share the planet not only with a lot of other people, but we share it with a lot of other creatures, big and small. And some happen to be our pets. Maybe you're a cat person or maybe you're a dog person. Either way, taking proper care of our furry friends teaches us a lot about responsibility and patience. Check out Pet Club online at petclub.co.th. They even have a swimming pool for pets. As always, this podcast would not be possible without the hard work and support of our international student production team.
All music and sound effects are courtesy of Pixabay.com, a vibrant community of creatives sharing copyright-free images, videos, and music.
And we are signing off until next time. We are Students Incorporated, because your voice matters.